to stop. I would get in situations where you have a lot of different decisions to make, and I would get confused. But I failed initially to remember the break is there for a reason. When you're not certain about what you're doing, where you're going, if it's safe, the best thing to do is what? No, y'all didn't say it like you convinced. What's up, Keaton? When you're not certain about what's going on, the best thing to do is to stop. I want to talk today about the wisdom of stopping. Because there's somebody in this room right now. My baby said, Jesus, I need to hear this. Not just you, babe. There's somebody in this room right now who has run yourself ragged. I want you to go over to Luke chapter 10. In Luke chapter 10, verses 38 through 42, it reads like this. Now it came to pass as they went that he entered into a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha received him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary, which also sat at Jesus' feet and heard his word. But Martha was cumbered about, here it is, much serving. Somebody say she was doing too much. And came to him and said, Lord, dost thou not care that my sister hath left me to serve alone? Bid her therefore that she help me. And Jesus answered and said unto her, Martha, Martha, thou art careful and troubled about many things, but one thing is needful, and Mary hath chosen the good part, which shall not be taken away from her. Now, when we look at Martha, Martha just refused to what? Stop. Come on, say it, y'all. Come on, Martha refused to what? Stop. She wouldn't even stop for Jesus. In some way, I want you to hear me. I know we got a lot going on, but just listen to me. This is the blessing of growth. In some way, it almost feels like Martha probably believed, listen to this, this is going to hit somebody, that all of her busyness was for Jesus. Even after Jesus rebukes her, we don't see a record of her repenting. She refused to what? Stop. When you can't rest, listen to this carefully. When you can't rest, you automatically know that Jesus is out of place. And there's some of y'all in this room right now, I believe with all of my heart that when you come to the Lord's house on Sunday morning, there are days that we ought to be able to help you to make some emotional and even some psychological adjustments that will improve your life. There are some of you who have run yourselves ragged this week, and you drug yourself into this room hoping for God to restore you. And I'm here to tell you that anybody that cannot stop is maladjusted in certain areas of life, especially emotionally and spiritually. Because Jesus said, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you what? Rest. When you can't rest, you automatically know that Jesus is not in place. Now, obsessive activity is usually a crutch for other deficiencies. So you're doing all of this stuff because you're covering something up. You're doing all of this stuff because you're running from a truth that you don't want to face. Can I just keep it real up in here? You know when I realized this? And I love all these young folk. Y'all please hear me. Learn these lessons earlier than later. I realized this after the pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, this is what my Sunday schedule looked like. Listen to this. I would wake up somewhere around 5:30 in the morning. They would pick me up, and they would bring me here. I think at that time we had like 7:30 in the morning service. I would do 7:30 in the morning service. They would drive me like a bat out of hell from uptown to east. I would do east service. They would drive me from the east church to the airport out on the lakefront. I would get on the plane. Curtis, who was our pilot, he would always just take his time. He would never rush. Am I lying? That man would never. I'd call ahead and say, Curtis, look, I'm on the road. I'm on my way. Do all your checks. Get everything in order. By the time I get there, Curtis still drinking coffee. I'm like, Curtis, I got to be in Houston. I did this every Sunday. By the time I got home in the evening, afternoon, I would just collapse. And when the pandemic hit, watch this. Though I was broken because of the deaths, though I was broken because of the pain, my biggest struggle was being still. I was addicted to something in the rat race. Touch your neighbor, tell him he's talking to you right now. Watch this. Because obsessive activity is usually a crutch for other deficiencies. You'd be amazed at how many people in this room right now cannot sit still. If we took your phone away from you, that's why y'all need all that weed you smoke. That weed is the only way you can. We take that weed from you. I'm going to leave y'all weed alone. I ain't going to bother y'all weed, because I'm going to tell you why I ain't going to bother y'all, because I used to think it was just you young folk, but they got Negroes old as me smoking that weed. I messed around one day and sniffed on one of these mothers. I said, oh my God. I got a contact high at the altar. They smoking that weed, boy. You know why? You don't know how to rest. A highly ambitious and accomplished, not just ambitious, but a highly accomplished young man. Listen to this. Some of you might have seen this. I didn't get his name, but he's extremely accomplished. Recently had a brilliant idea. He thought to use AI to give him a strategy to accomplish his daily agenda. So he plugged in all of his goals into AI. He gave AI the block of time he had to get these things done, and he was waiting for AI to give him an amazing approach to accomplishing his goals. And AI came back and said to him, it is impossible to accomplish this. He talked about the revelation he got from AI's response. He realized he had been beating himself up for years for not accomplishing the humanly impossible. And I wonder how many folk in this room today are just doing too much. You're trying to figure out why you're aging. Doing too much. Bishop, I don't know why I can't make no relationship work. You got to stay still to make a relationship work. You're doing too much. Now, I'm not going to be long. The question is, why do we behave like this? People often get caught in overactivity in life for several or a few reasons. Distractions, multitasking, the phone constantly beeping. You can do many different things at one time with your device, so you find yourself overly busy. Let it be fear of missing out. You want to be involved in everything because you don't want to miss out on anything. I submit to you that if you try to be involved in everything, the one thing you are missing out is on your life. I don't even want so much church activity that it pulls people away from their lives. And then you have letter C, perfectionism over achievement. And perfectionism is really just low self-esteem dressed up in a bunch of different tasks. Now, let me give you this. What are the benefits of what are the benefits of stopping? What are the benefits of stopping? Number one, it allows for